dig a little bit deeper on if you really need to do resistance training, and I think you'll see very shortly after all the benefits we can get from it that you 100% should be doing resistance training if you want to live the healthiest, most fulfilling life for yourself. So let's talk about some benefits. So improved glucose control. This is something that I think is really, really neat. So when you actually build some muscle, your muscle becomes almost like a sponge for glucose or energy. So if there's any free floating blood sugar in your bloodstream, when you get stronger muscles, it literally sucks it up to use as energy for those different activities. So if you're somebody with diabetes, making sure you're implementing some weight training is a huge idea. Greater strength of the entire body. Of course, if you challenge your overall muscles with resistance training, you're going to be able to just have a stronger body. Who doesn't want to be stronger, right? I like being stronger to do all the activities of my daily life, and I'm sure you do too. So that's a great way to improve your body through resistance training, and ultimately why you should do resistance training. In addition to this, improved quality of life. This kind of goes hand in hand, but who is better off in life? Somebody who is strong and can move and be agile when they're going out to the grocery store or they're going on vacation, they're helping their friend move. Who's better off? Somebody who's stronger or somebody who's weaker? Duh, somebody who's stronger. It's going to improve all aspects of your quality of life tremendously. Bone mineral density improvement. If you're somebody who's at high risk for osteoporosis, specifically older adults who are women, resistance training is one of the best tools you can do this by putting stress on your bone. Again, not too much. We want to work within our own level, of course. So this is where you'd have to work with a practitioner or a fitness professional when you're first getting started. But placing any type of additional stress on your bones is what's going to help to build it and improve that bone mineral density. There's also a little bit of cardiovascular benefit. Obviously not nearly as much as if you went out for a run or jog, etc. But when you get done from a set of let's just say bicep curls, or we'll go back to squats. We were talking about squats earlier. You do a set of squats, you're going to be out of breath. You're going to be out of breath mainly because there is some anaerobic capacity built this, and to recover anaerobically, you need to have a good aerobic base. So ultimately, long story short, you're going to be working your cardio a little bit. So there is some cardiovascular benefit. In addition to that, you burn more calories at rest. This is something that I talked about earlier when I was looking at cardiovascular work, and specifically the myths section. If you didn't check that section, go back out and listen to some of the myths and frequently asked questions about cardiovascular work. But anyway, you burn more calories at rest, and you're like, how do you do this? Well, when you actually build muscle, your muscle is extremely metabolically active. It burns lots of calories at rest. So although lifting weights won't burn calories when you're doing it, the byproduct of lifting weights long-term will. So something crucial and important to note if you're trying to reduce the chances of obesity for yourself, improve your body composition, of course, but also just burning more calories at rest so you can eat more. Who doesn't want to eat more? This will also, to some degree, reduce the risk of injury. I'm not going to say completely eliminate, because you can't completely eliminate any injury from happening entirely, but if you are stronger, you're able to tolerate different positions and bending and this and that, you're going to be at a decreased risk of injuring yourself during a variety of activities. This is something that's super prevalent, and we'll talk about in the myths section in a second. But people will always pick something up off the ground, they'll help their friend move something, and they hurt their back or they hurt their knee, and they'll blame the movement on it. I can't squat, I can't deadlift, I can't do all these things because they hurt my back. It's usually because they're not strong enough. They haven't built up their basically tolerance for their body, so that's kind of why they got injured. They weren't strong enough, and they increased their acute workload very, very drastically. So super important to reduce the risk of injury. Speaking as reducing the risk of injury as well, we can also look at some recovery tools of specifically